Good day, everyone. My name is Francis Bisi. Today we shall be looking at the subject mathematics, and today we shall be looking at the topic trigonometry. Trigonometry is the subject we're going to discuss today. But before we continue, we want to see some of the objectives. Meaning at the end of this class, everyone should be able to define what Pythagoras theorem is as related to trigonometry. Everyone should be able to calculate an angle of a right angle triangle given some parameters such as cosine, sine, and tangent. At the same time, you can be able to calculate the side of every triangle given to you when you are given some particular value in other sides of the triangle. And lastly, you should be able to calculate angle of elevation and depression. So get your materials, your calculator, your pen, your four-figure table, and your calculator. So trigonometry. Before we continue, we need to look at right angle triangle. Some of the characteristics of a right angle triangle. A right angle triangle is an angle. It's a triangle with 90 degrees on one side, giving an angle theta, A, side A, B, C, where the side facing this angle is C, small letter C, B, labeled as C, as B, then this side A. So from here, one can begin to define what this angle is using what we call sine, cosine, sine theta, which is CAH, cos theta, and tan theta. Tan theta simply means opposite over hypotenuse, meaning so. That simply means sine means opposite over hypotenuse. Then we have cos theta to be what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. Then tan theta is TOA, that's CAH. While tan theta is opposite all over adjacent, meaning TOA. So we have the abbreviation SOH-CAH-TOA. If you need to calculate the angle here, so and this side of the triangles are labeled as small letter A, B, and C. So for you to define any angle in a right angle triangle, a right angle triangle is that one of the sides is bounded by 90 degrees. This has to be 90 degrees before you call it a right angle triangle. So for you to define sine theta, you have to find opposite side all over the hypotenuse. This is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the longest side of a triangle. While the angle facing, the side facing this angle theta is the opposite. While the third side of the triangle is always the adjacent. So remember this as hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. So for you to define sine in this case now, it has to be sine theta equals opposite, which is C, over hypotenuse, which is B. Cos theta in this case is going to be adjacent all over hypotenuse. Where is the adjacent? Adjacent, this is the angle adjacent A all over hypotenuse, which is B. And the last one, TOA, which is tan theta. Tan of this angle has to be what? Opposite. The word opposite is the one facing this angle. So this is going to be C, side C all over adjacent, TOA, adjacent, which is A. So from here, you have been able to define what SOH-CAH-TOA is, sine of the angle. Then at the same time, you need to know what we mean by Pythagoras theorem.
Hello, if you're enjoying this video and want to see more content relating to this towards your examination success, make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends, okay? Because we'll be releasing loads and loads of beautiful content tailored towards your examination success in one sitting. Now let's get back to the class.
Pythagoras theorem simply says that the longest side, which is the hypotenuse, the sum of the longest side, which is b, this is simply defined as b squared, is the sum of the two other sides, c squared plus a squared. So for you to find side b, automatically you find the square root of both sides. Take the root of both sides. B is equal to c squared plus a squared square root of this. So this is simply called Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem as defined. So until you understand these two parameters in a right angle triangle, you won't understand what we mean by trigonometry. Let's take examples. So like I said, we have sine, cosine, and tangent. Pythagoras theorem and defining this side of the triangle. Sine of angle opposite to the hypotenuse, as you can see. Cos of angle, cos of theta adjacent to the hypotenuse. Y tan opposite all over adjacent. That is TOA. SOH-CAH-TOA. You can easily remember this formulation. SOH-CAH-TOA. So let's take example. Example 1. You're given the triangle bounded with by another triangle. Like I said, we have two triangles here, two right angle triangles. Meaning this side is 90 degrees, the other side is 90 degrees. So we are asked to calculate side PR. Side PR, where is PR? Somebody can help us. PR, this is PR. We have to define by PR, which is X, and then B, calculate RX. The side RX is this side, which is Y. In the figure below, leaving your answer in 3 significant figures. So let's go. Solution. How do we define this? How do we solve this? Solution. So A. To solve A, we are looking for the side PR. The side PR is X, which is X. So how do we find X? Mind you, you are given an angle. You first of all look for the angle given to you. You have the side angle, then you have another side, which is the adjacent. I told you this side, PQ, is the hypotenuse. So how do you define X? For you to find X, you have to look for this. X all over. If you put X all over this, what does it give to you? This is opposite all over adjacent. Opposite all over adjacent, that's what? Opposite all over defined by adjacent. That becomes TOA. That's tan theta. So meaning tan 50 from here, tan 50, our angle is now 50. So tan 50 degrees, theta is now 50. Tan 50 degrees is going to give us opposite all over hypotenuse. So where is opposite? Opposite is X. X all over adjacent. Where is adjacent? Adjacent is 6. So from here we can calculate the value of X. How do we calculate the value of X? You cross multiply. If you cross multiply, you have X equals 6 times tan 50 degrees. Yes. 6 times tan 50 degrees. You find 6 multiplied by tan 50 degrees. Somebody help us with the calculator. Tan 50 degrees. Tan 50. Yes. If you are there, let me know. Tan 50 degrees. Yeah, will give us 1.19. 1.192. Yes. 1.192. You can verify, please. So if you multiply this times this, times 6. That gives you.
Hey, are you enjoying this video? Liking this video or leaving your comments will not take anything away from you. It will rather suggest to YouTube algorithm that will make useful educative content and help them rank us better so that we can reach more persons like you. So why not do it? Hit the like button, comment, and make sure you subscribe so that YouTube algorithms can push it upward and make it viral, helping others like you. Thank you.
7.1. Your answer is in 3 significant figures. So that's going to give you 7.15 centimeter. Answer. That is the value of PR, which is X. PR, which is X. So B now, to calculate sine RS. RS is Y, meaning the side facing the angle, which is the opposite. Mind you, PQ, which is X, is the longest side. If you slant it this way, you'll be able to know that this is going to be the hypotenuse. So we have been given the hypotenuse and the what? The side opposite, which is Y. So whatever you're going to use here is going to be is going to determine the value, which is X and Y. So you've been given X and Y, where X is 7.15, then Y is the unknown. So Y over X will give you sine of the angle. What's the angle? 28. Sine 28 degrees, which is going to be what? Y over X. So from here, if we interpret this, sine 28 degrees is going to give you 7.15 over, where's Y? Okay, we are calculating Y. Y over 7.15, which we just calculated. We derive X. So how do you find Y? You cross multiply. If you cross multiply Y, multiply times 1, Y equals 7.15 times sine 28 degrees. Will give you 7.15 times sine 28. Sine of angle. Somebody should help us with the calculator. Sine 28 degrees gives us 0.46, 0.469, 0.469, 0.469 multiplied by 7.15 times 7.15. The answer gives us 3.36. 3.3. The answer, we have to leave our answer in 3 significant figures. So you approximate it to 3.36 centimeter, which is the side Y, which is interpreted as RS. 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 Any question? So if you have any question, please don't hesitate to leave your comment below. Example 2. In example 2, you are given 2 sides of triangle. Meanwhile, it is called isosceles triangle. The ratio of the side of an isosceles triangle is 6 to ratio 7. Meaning, isosceles triangle has a side 7, another side 7. So for us to make a right angle out of this, we have to divide this line down to form a right angle triangle. So we have 2 right angle triangles, so as to be able to calculate alpha, because the question is telling us to find angle alpha. What is angle alpha to the nearest degree? So until we divide this, we call it symmetry. You divide it equally to form a 90-degree here, you won't be able to get a right angle triangle. And the right angle triangle will be able to get our trigonometry ratio. So dividing this into equal half, this is 6, giving you 3 and 3. So if you join 3 plus 3 gives you 6. So from here we've been able to carve out our right angle triangle, as you can see. This is 3, this is A, and this is M, this is B. from this. And this is angle alpha, which we are calculating. So from here we have 7n, 3n, and this is unknown. So how do we calculate angle alpha? Giving you alpha, this is the opposite. Side opposite, this is the adjacent, while the longest side is hypotenuse. If you remember what we said above. So for us to calculate the side, the angle theta, you have to find the side, this, all over this, which are the side known. We'll be given the hypotenuse and the what? The opposite.
Hi, chat with us to join our live classes that hold special for JAMB, IELT, WAEC, NCE, Beckett, and the likes. Okay, you can use the number on the screen right now.
So the right angle triangle has been brought here. So meaning we have the longest side, which is the hypotenuse, and the opposite and the adjacent. So given the adjacent and the hypotenuse, so we are using the sine, the cosine rule, which is so cos alpha, the angle given to us is alpha, which is alpha means CAH, meaning adjacent all over opposite over hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse, which is, where's adjacent? 3 divided by 7. So 3 divided by 7 will give us 0.4286. So cos alpha equals 0.4286. So for us to solve this, alpha, you find the cos of 0.4286 using your 4-figure table. If you use your 4-figure table to the nearest point, you get to the nearest degree, alpha will give you 6.65 degree. 65, that's 64 point something. If you approximate, you get 65, you get 64.6 approximate to what? 65 degree, which is the angle alpha. Angle alpha. In the other way, you can still use, if you ask to calculate this side, you can use what we call the hypotenuse, Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem will give you the side of the opposite, but we are not asked to calculate this. It's simply finding the value of the opposite, which will tell you 7 squared equals 3 squared plus the side opposite square. So for you to find this, you're looking for opposite. So automatically what you do is 7 squared minus 3 squared equals opposite square. So for you to remove this sign of square, for you to remove this sign, you have to find 49 square of this minus 9 equals opposite. That's the side. So that gives you 49 minus 9. That is 40 equals opposite square. So for you to remove this sign of proportionality, you find the square root of this. So the opposite therefore equals 40 square root. Square root of 40, that gives you, yes, that gives you 6.4 thereabout cm3. All right, so let's go to the last example, which is example 3.
Hi, do you know that you can get better in-depth teaching on this topic you are watching right now? Simply use the link in the description where you can get access to our tutors, your favorite tutor, one-on-one, and discuss a conversation on joining our live class. You can also go to our website on www.allcbts.com to book a session with your favorite tutor.
A ladder of length 6 meters rests with its foot on a horizontal ground. This is taken as a ladder 6 meters resting on a horizontal ground. The inclination of the ladder, that is the angle of inclination, is 80 degrees from the foot. 80 degrees, that is the slant is at 80 degrees. Find correct to one decimal place. A, the distance of the foot, which is this place, to the distance of the foot of the ladder from the wall, meaning C to B. The point C to B, that is 1. Then 2, the height above the ground at which the upper end of the ladder, which is A, touches the wall. That is, find side A and B, which is very, very simple. Let's extrapolate this diagram. We are calculating the distance of the foot of the ladder from the wall, meaning we are calculating side BC. If you are calculating side BC, we'll be given the hypotenuse, which is this. So how do we calculate this? Meaning, if we label our BC as, this is BC in question. So we'll be given the hypotenuse and we'll be given the angle. So how do we calculate BC? You find BC all over 6. That gives you BC, which is the what? Adjacent all over hypotenuse. That gives you what? Adjacent all over hypotenuse. That's cos. Cos 80. The angle there is 80. Cos 80 degrees is going to be BC all over 6. So cos means adjacent, that's CAH. Cos theta means CAH. If you remember SOH-CAH-TOA, that's adjacent all over hypotenuse. So cos 80 degrees equals BC over this. So cross multiply to give us the value BC equals 6 times cos 80 degrees. 6 times cos 80 degrees. I want us to be sure we are on track. We are calculating the distance of the foot of the ladder from the wall. This is the foot of the ladder from the wall, which is BC. So, somebody help us. 6 times cos 80. Cos 80 gives us cos 80 gives us 0.173. 0.173. Yes, you can confirm that. Yes, multiplying this times 6.
Hi, if you have not subscribed to this channel, you can do so in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And don't forget to hit the notification button.
So multiplying 6 times this gives us 1.0416 from our calculator. So to the nearest whole number, we have the answer to be 1.0 meter. Answer giving us BC. BC is 1 meter. So the side BC is 1 meter. So let's calculate the other side, which says the height above the ground at which the upper end of the ladder touches the wall, meaning we are calculating AB. How do we derive AB? There are 2 ways to derive AB. Is that we use Pythagoras theorem, because we've been given 2 sides. We've been given 1 and 6. We can easily calculate this. Or we use the sine rule. The sine rule, meaning if we are looking at AB and the hypotenuse, that is opposite all over hypotenuse. That gives us sine. In this case, AB side AB can be calculated as sine of angle, the angle there is 80, equals opposite over hypotenuse. What's the opposite side here? The opposite of this angle is what we are looking for. So meaning opposites cross multiply. Opposite will give us hypotenuse times sine 80 degrees. So the hypotenuse has been given to us as 6 times sine 80 degrees. Can somebody help us with sine 80 degrees? Yes. From our calculator, our sine 80 is 0.9848. You can confirm that. That is 6 times 0.9898. 0.9848, sorry. 48. So multiplying this with that will give us 5.9. This gives us 5.90 meter. Approximately 6. We can approximate to be 6. If we approximate this gives you 6 meters. 6 meters. 6 meters. So any questions so far? Question. So without much question, I'll be leaving you with we'll stop here for the day. I'll be leaving you with some exercises. We have 2 exercises for you to practice. They are quite simple. Solve them and leave your answer below in the comment below. And I'm sure there's a gift waiting for you if you do that. Thank you.